Alright. This way some people can start to come in. Alright, we got a couple people popping in now. Just like we usually do, this is just going to be an unboxing live stream. I have a whole lot of Spider-Man stuff to unbox, so that's going to be what we're trying to do tonight. Apologies for any type of shakiness with the camera. I'm having some real issues with my tripod tonight. Oh, hey user, how's it been? Yeah, things have been a bit crazy. I've started a new job and kind of ran out of time here for the past few weeks, so we're going to try to catch up. I would usually do this on Friday, but I knew ahead of time Friday just is not going to be a day I could do a live stream, so we're doing it tonight. Why not? Gonna try to catch up. Oh wait, that waggle is really bad. Here. There we go. Alright. Yeah, apologies for any type of shakiness. Do I have any wrestling figures? A handful. Just a couple. Oh. Hey, Bumhole Juice. Can't complain. How are you? Yeah, we're basically just going to start doing some Spider-Man stuff. Unboxing a lot of the ones that I've had just kind of lying around. First one we're going to open is going to be the one closest to me, which is the Cyborg Spider-Woman. Do I like sports? Yeah, I like the realest sport of all, wrestling. I watch football from time to time. Not enough to, like, really follow it, but, like, you know, that's probably the only other sport that I kind of actively go out of my way to watch. I like hockey. Don't really watch that much hockey, to be honest, though. But yeah, first thing we're opening up is this cool Spider-Woman. Cool, a wrestling fan. Hey, how's it going, man? Love E-Rose. So, this is the figure because it's a character who showed up in the movie for like 15 seconds. Hello. That's, El Martino saying hello. Have I heard the 1-2-3 Kid? I have. Sean Waltman's a very cool wrestler. I'm more familiar for when he was X-Pac, but yeah. Where am I from? I'm from Savannah, Georgia. Oh, wow. Oh, they are... Somehow, using just cardboard, Hasbro has fastened this character in here. Here we go. So. Oh, they come in a big trash bag. Whoa. Dude. So, like, in the movie, you see this character, but it's, like, always super close. This is literally my childhood in one room. Awesome. Did I go to Raw? I didn't. I had to work that night. How long did it take to collect? I have been collecting for well over a decade now, so good while. I did not hear you. Someone was talking. Oop. Sorry about that. I'm from Savannah, Georgia. So, I'm just from the Peach State. Ooh. So, I didn't, like, you don't get a good look at this character in the movie. That's so cool looking. Like, that's the 90s. In, like, one figure right there. Am I a fan of Grimm's Toy Show? I was a huge fan when I was younger. I haven't seen it in a while, though. I don't know if they still do their stuff. Do you like your voice? Yeah, I think my voice is fine. I've got a few voice acting roles for it. Nothing too big, but, like, to be fair, I never got it for my voice. It's always a different voice. Are you zesty? I'm a tad sus. They still do. Do I have any belts? The only belts I have are the ones that hold up my pants, I'm afraid. I'd like to get a belt eventually. Gary Daniel says, love my collection. Thank you. What's my favorite Disney movie? Ooh. Probably Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I like that one a lot. Nice fix, man. Thank you. Do I have any real still action figures? I don't. What do I collect? A little bit of everything. Mostly DC, Marvel, and wrestling. Do I have any of the Deadpool 2 figure arts? I don't. Would you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Okay, so there's a person here, Boy Weird L Danielson. They're asking if we'll subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go check them out. So Boy Weird Ed Daniels. How much do I think my whole collection's worth? A few thousand. Do I have any Punk figures? Not many. Do you have any Dragon Ball figures? Not really. Do I have a Big Show? Yes. How much money is everything behind you? Like, I did the math recently, and it's, like, if you took my entire collection into account, it's a couple dozen thousand. Like, I think the final count was, like, I was around, like, 19,000, so, yeah, but that's if everything got sold. What's the highest I've ever paid for a figure? I paid at least 1,000 for my Classics Castle Grayskull. That's not a figure that's placed up, but that's the most I've ever spent on a toy. Favorite toy in the room? That's, My first Soundwave here, my War for Cybertron Soundwave. Do I have the Boogeyman? I don't. This might be Cardi. I'm afraid not. In the box. Oh, I don't... yeah, the Grayskull I bought was in the box. It was already opened, but, like, it came with the box. Do you have the ring? I don't. And I don't have any horror movie figures. My favorite wrestler is Bret Hart, but my favorite one wrestling today is Cody Rhodes. I've seen some people ask to do a tour collection. I'm having someone move. Like, basically, I used to live alone, but now I have someone who's moving into my apartment with me. So the toy room is really a mess right now because I'm trying to also turn this just into my bedroom. So we're probably not going to do tours tonight. I'm sorry. We usually do that on the live streams. I don't feel comfortable doing it right now. Not so much because, like, I have stuff in here, but more just because I don't think that there's a lot of cool stuff, like, on display right now. How long did it take you to collect everything? Well, I've been collecting for probably around 12 years. Do I have any masks? I have a couple, like, Rey Mysterio masks I bought just to, like, have for fun. Those are probably the only ones. And then I have some, like, Halloween masks that I just keep on hand for some films. Let's see here. So M-I-A-U. I think you pronounce that Mal. Hi, man. Hey, how's it going? When did I start collecting? Around 12 years ago. Do I have a piece of cheese? No, I don't. So I'm just messing around with Spider-Woman, right? This figure feels great. The articulation's actually, like, really good. Like, the only thing is, like, there's no, like, mid-joint here in the gun arm, but also, where would that be in the gun arm? When did you start collecting? About 12 years ago. I really love that head sculpt. I love that, like, gas mask. Like, the thing is, like, when you look in the game, the graphics that they used for Cyborg Spider-Woman really looks like a PlayStation 3 game. So I feel like that's kind of what they were going for, is like a Killzone kind of character. Bro, honestly, I wish I had a passion for something. I'm jealous of you for real. Hey, Rocky, it's all about just finding something you enjoy. Let's see some Hulk. I don't have any Hulks, I'm afraid. I have a She-Hulk, and I have a Spider-Hulk, and that's about it. Who is that? This is from the Spider-Verse movie. It is Cyborg Spider-Woman. It is the most 90s thing I've ever seen. I love the big spiky shoulder pad, the big gun arm, and that head sculpt is just really cool. What is my biggest toy? My physically biggest toy that I still own is probably that Stormtrooper behind me, that one way up there. It's about 14 inches tall. It's not super expensive, it's just big. What's my favorite character to collect? I guess right now it's Spider-Man. Ever since Spider-Verse, I've been like, I just need to collect every version of Spider-Man I can find, period. What's the first figure in your collection? The first figure in my collection, I always say, is the Soundwave, because it's the oldest toy I have. It's the first one I remember getting. And this is my childhood Soundwave. What is the worst toy that I have right now? It's probably a gimmick Spider-Verse Spot that I bought just to do a review. It can't stand up. The gimmick has broken, like, after I owned it for an hour. And the only reason I still have it is because I haven't found the Marvel Legends Spot yet. So that's probably my least favorite one. The favorite Spider-Man figure I own, of the ones I have, probably the 90s cartoon one that they did on Legends. A lot of WWE. Yeah, that's kind of one of my main things. Do I have Eddie Guerrero? I do actually have a couple of Eddie Guerreros. In fact, I have one right there next to my ear. That's cool, but I feel like they should have made other characters instead, like Spider-Man India or Ska. Now, Scarlet Spider, I would have loved a new Scarlet Spider. And I think there's like a listing that they're doing a new Scarlet Spider, but that's going to be the comic one. I would have liked Spider-Man India, but also that's definitely going to come out for the next movie, so I'll just wait. Favorite figure. My favorite figure... it's the Soundwave. It's always going to be the Soundwave, because it's the one figure that if I had to get rid of everything, I wouldn't get rid of this one. I see a lot of Mattels. I have a lot of Mattels. Like, Mattels are my main thing, right? I have a shelf of Jakks, I have a handful of LJNs, and then I have a big shelf of Hasbros. I don't have any Ultrons, I'm afraid. And are you a Spawn collector? Not really. I don't have a Gambit. Will John Cena ever retire? No. Everything I hear about John Cena makes me think that they are a complete workaholic. They're going to do that till the day they die. They're going to act and wrestle until they die. What's the most valuable figure that I have? I have the white and black Scott Hall, like NWO Scott Hall. He goes for like $400 now. He's probably the most valuable single figure that I own. So you're right that Cyborg Spider-Woman isn't a main character. And yeah, the only reason they made a toy for her is because she's big. But also, from what I understand, apparently Hasbro didn't get to see the movie before they made the figures. They just had the trailer, and she did show up in like a lot of the promotional art. So that they might have just assumed that she had a bigger role than she did. I have a very small handful of AEW figures. I like AEW, I just don't like the figures that much. Do you have any basketball players? I don't. Have about 200 in a box. That's cool. Inbox collecting is fun, and there's a handful of figures that I do inbox, but I don't have the, there's always going to be that part of me that's like, yeah, but I would like to actually mess with the figure, you know? But, tell you what, we talked about a very cool figure who wasn't in the movie, hardly. Let's move over to, like, one of the main Spider people, 2099. Honestly, probably my favorite character from the movie. I adored how they did with Miguel. What's your favorite except my first toy? That's a good question. It's probably the McFarlane Rebirth Superman I have, just because I love posing that figure, and I think it's my favorite Superman figure. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why they didn't make Andrew or Toby earlier. Yeah, that was another thing, is like so for No Way Home, like Hasbro just, because they were trying to keep leaks out, they didn't show Hasbro like the movies. Speaking of which, I actually unboxed that pack on a different live stream and did a review of them. Those are really good figures. My favorite is probably the Andrew Garfield figure. The Toby figure is a little weird, but he's also the most fun to mess with, so, yeah, you know. Do I like the McFarlane figures? I do, and I also don't have any Naruto figures, I'm afraid. Do I have Hornswoggle? I don't. Do you have any other Optimus toys? I have a lot of Optimus toys, but a lot of them are actually going into storage, because, like I said earlier, I'm having someone move into my apartment with me, and a part of that is going to be that I'm moving a lot of stuff in here. So a lot of stuff is going to either be sold or moved into storage. Most of it more storage. So that's a big reason why I don't want to show the room right now, is because it's just in complete shambles. Like, this part still looks nice just because I'm keeping my wrestling figures, but so much of the room just looks really bad right now. How much money have you spent through 12 years? Too much. Enough to where if I had saved that money, I could have a house and not an apartment right now. Do I have any what ifs? No, but I would like to get the Spider-Man and Captain Carter again, because I had all of them, and then I sold all of them. Do I have Eric? I don't know that last name, and also I don't think I do. Do you have Black Queen Barbie? I have no idea what that is. No, I guess not. Emily loves, Osuke says hello. So is your room just figures? Yes, this is just a dedicated toy room. Cereal first or milk first? Cereal first, because otherwise you might, like, spill the milk. What made you want to start collecting? It's just a thing like my entire family does. I'm the only one who does toy collecting, but, like, I come from a family of people who like to collect, so I think it's just, like, a genetic disorder. Rick the Stick. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Oh, this is cool. Oh, well, drop the figure. Are you a nerd? Yeah. I'm gonna go on a limb and say yes. Do I have Pickle Rick? I don't. Your shelving is amazing. Where'd you get those? Oh, they're just cheap Walmart shelves. But they work pretty well. Hey, Deadpool. Yeah, I remember you. You popped in... Oh, God, it's been like a couple weeks now. So this is really cool. I guess that, once again, they were looking at concept art. This is a 2099 with the web cape, and that's accurate to the comics, but he didn't have that in the movie. That's cool. Is it removable? No, that's glued in. Huh, okay. Whoa, I love your collection. Thank you, Grimace. Remember when nerd was an insult? Crazy how times change. Dude, when I was a kid, you got beat up for being into superheroes, and now everyone's into superheroes. It's weird. What is your favorite part on the shelf? I love how I have the entire Hart family just like right there front and center in that corner. I think that's one of my favorites. What do you collect specifically? Toys specifically. My main areas of focus are wrestling, Pokemon, comic books, and Transformers is kind of like right on the edge where it's like also one of the main things. I don't have any AEW, or I don't have much. Any Ghostbusters? No. No Pickle Rick. Do I like Pantera? I like what I've heard, but I've also never, like, listened to, like, an album. Are you going to start collecting the new Transformer things? I'm going to collect the ones that I think are cool. Like, there's probably a lot of Earthspark figures I'm going to buy. But then there's also, like, increasingly just a lot of Transformers where it's like, I don't care. Do I collect Pokemon cards? I don't. What did one hat say to another hat? Do you know what, man, you can stay here. I'm going to go on ahead. That's pretty good. What's the most expensive comic I have? I'm not much of a comic collector, so most of my comics are actually pretty cheap. I just get the stuff I like, and for the most part, it's just like graphic novels. Grimace says, I respect so much fellow nerds uniting. It's so special. I love it. Have you tried the Grimace Shake? Nah, and I'm probably not going to. And besides, every place I go to has broken shake machines, so I don't imagine they're going to have the Grimace Shake. Any crossover wrestling figures are just straight wrestling. No, I have, like, Peacemaker on my John Cena shelf. Typically, if I get a character who is a wrestler, I put them on the wrestling shelves. In all honesty, if I ever get, like, that wrestling Spider-Man figure they did for the first movie, I'd probably put that on a wrestling shelf. What's the weirdest thing in your collection? It is a thing my friend gave me that is resin, and it's Kirby with The Rock's face. That's the weirdest thing I own. What do you do for a living? I am a counselor, and I help children who are nonverbal, which is to say they have difficulties speaking, just speaking. So we aid them in learning to either communicate verbally or communicate through either means, like sign language or through tablets. It's a fun job. Batman or Superman? Superman all the way. I love Superman. Is that Darth Vader on the top shelf? No, that's just a really big TIE pilot. Do you have a figure of myself? I don't. Wow. $20.99. This is a very tight ankle that has. So I'm just messing with this figure, right? And it's like, it's cool. I like it a lot. But I feel like there's a lot of joints here that feel like nearly frozen. Have you ever thought to donate? Most of the toys that, like, if they're in good shape, I tend to donate them. I usually donate them to, like, basically here in Savannah, there's a lot of comic conventions, so most of my toys I actually donate to the auctions, and the money from that goes to charities. Other than that, like, I wouldn't have any used toys, but, like, every December I do Toys for Tots, but of course Toys for Tots, it has to be a new figure, so typically what I do is I just go to, like, Walmart or Target, find stuff that I think is cool and that kids would like, and donate that. There have been times where I've sold figures myself and then donated the money, but for the most part, if I'm going to do that, I just wait for the donation auctions, because one, that's a bit easier for me, and two, I feel like that leads to a bigger amount of things. Alright. Spider-Man is the good, I don't care what you say. For a long time, I didn't like Spider-Man, and I've just recently started, like, really getting into Spider-Man again, after many years of kind of thinking I didn't like the character. Do I have any LGBTQ plus action figures? I have many, actually. And in fact, right now on my channel, this whole week is Pride reviews. And I do that every year, where it's like I do reviews of figures who are characters in the community. There's a good handful of characters that I can think of. For instance, Batwoman from DC, Smithers from The Simpsons I did a review for, Wonder Woman is a review that's coming up for that. Goldust, who, Dustin Rhodes isn't gay, but Goldust the character is, so I count that. Good for you, Bronson Reed. I look a lot like Bronson Reed. What did you sell and regret right away? A lot of Marvel Legends, to be fair, to be honest. I was just like, yeah, I'm done with it. I meant Luke Donatello as Undertaker TMNT. Oh, you mean the wrestling crossovers? I don't have any of those, and it's not because I don't like them, it's just because I haven't seen them. I would totally buy a handful of those. Those were cool. I do have the Motu figures. Those were interesting. Do I still have any figures still in box? A small handful. Basically just the ones I think are cool in the box. Like, I have the All Real Monsters line in box just because I think they're interesting. King Musa, here's the thing. I'm gay, so like I don't care what the ladies think. What I'm gonna say is a lot of the guys I bring in this room think it's pretty cool. So, have you been on a date recently? Or are you just hanging out on my live stream? Do. I do. I apparently look just like Bronson Reed. It's Bronson Reed and Meat Canyon. Zero figure that you want, but you don't have enough for it. Oh, dude. There's a good handful. Honestly, a lot of, like, import figures. Like, I always think, like, oh, I would love to collect Mafex. But Mafex is, like, $100 a figure, sometimes more. So something says, oh, hey, ASW Stop Motion. Yeah, we're doing the Thursday review right now. Typically we do Friday, but I knew, like, I just couldn't do it this week. WWE figure than your toys. I mean, the toys exist. And, I mean, I get what you're saying, but also, like, what the toys are real? And WWE is also real. Would I ever play the wrestling character Mankind? If someone was ever like, I'm doing a short film and I want you to play Mick Foley, I would adore that, and I would totally jump the opportunity. And then I'd probably feel like I don't deserve to play that dude. I love Mick Foley. Sick collection. Thank you so much. Ooh, I got a couple I got to catch up on. Will you mail me a Stone Cold figure? I don't try to get people's addresses on TikTok. And like I said, most of the stuff, once I'm done with it, I either sell it to places here in Savannah, I give it to friends, or I donate it, so sorry. Do I own any wrestling photos? Oh, protos, like prototypes. No, I don't really do prototype collecting. I've always thought maybe I would want to, but I kind of never get back to it. What was the first WWE figure you collected? It was the Defining Moments Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, because I was just getting back into wrestling, and I was adoring watching Razor Ramon stuff, and then that figure just happened to come out around the same time, picked it up. Mario, I actually have a big Mario collection, yeah. Do I go dumpster diving for them sometimes? With some of the toy stores I go to, yeah, it kind of feels like that. There's a place here in Savannah, which, like, they occasionally get cool stuff, but the place smells like actual shit, and I feel like I have to clean those figures after I buy them, but every now and again I pop in and just see what they have. Palpatine Vader 2024. I mean, why not? Why not? I'm surprised we haven't got a Fortnite X Marvel figure from Hasbro. That is weird, because they did the Fortnite cross G.I. Joe figure with Snake Eyes. I don't know, you'd think they would have done a Spider-Man or something. That might be a Disney thing, who knows? Favorite wrestling figure? Ooh, that's tough. It's probably that basic Bret Hart I have there in the front, because it's Bret Hart from his 97 run, which is like my favorite year in wrestling ever. And that's my favorite look for Bret Hart. Do I have any Jurassic World stuff? I only have the T-Rex, and it's in my storage unit, I'm afraid. Foxy Hatter says, man, I really want to get some Toy Biz figures. Dude, Toy Biz, like, I'm only now realizing just how great they were. Like, I spent so much of my life thinking, like, oh, Hasbro, this Marvel Legends better than Toy Biz, surely. But I very recently got some Toy Biz figures, and it's like, these things are, like, so ahead of their time. Like, they're more advanced than some figures are today. It sucks. It sucks that Toy Biz, like, kind of got screwed over in a lot of ways, because, like, they had some good shit. What's the oldest wrestling figure I own? I have a first-run LJN Hulk Hogan. That's probably the oldest one I own. I don't have, like, any of those Poppy figures from Japan. I don't have any of the Remco figures. There's been a Remco Ric Flair at Planet Fun here in Savannah. Planet Fun, by the way, is, like, the best nerd shop in Savannah. It's been there for months, and I don't want it because, like, the face is mangled. And, like, to be fair, they're giving it for, like, a really cheap price. It's, like, a $10 figure. And, like, if it was in good condition, it'd be, like, worth a lot of money. Thing is, it's not in good condition, so I don't care about having it, you know? But, yeah. How old were you when you got your first figure? The first figure I got when I was, like, I'm a collector now, I think I was, like, 10 or 11. And it's when I got my War for Cybertron Soundwave, and, like, this was, like, okay, yeah, now I'm collecting figures, you know? Okay, we messed around with Miguel. Now that I got him standing, I think he's cool. He just has some problems, and I think some of it might be just I got some QC issues. I can't say I'll ever own a Hogan figure. There was a long time where it's like I refused to get Hulk Hogan, but I've kind of just come around on it now. I've started to believe more and more in just Death of the Author. If Toy Biz figures cost a little more and actually had a grate, they would probably still be around. Dude, that's the thing, is like a part of me wonders, like, is a reason they went out of business because there was so much they put out. Because they did. They put out so much and they were all unique molds, and that's unbelievably commendable. But like, look at McFarlane, right? McFarlane does a similar thing where like basically every figure they put out is a new mold. The difference is they do a wave, and that wave is going to have 3 or 4 figures, not 10 figures, and a Build-A-Figure that's going to be 4 feet tall. You know, I like the fact that you collect for yourself. Thank you, thank you. Foxy had her around. Oh, you're just continuing that you think that Toy Biz would be around today. Yeah, I agree. I think Toy Biz could totally have been around today if just things were different. My uncle is a collector. That's cool. And then Gary Daniels is asking, what is my rarest wrestling figure? That's a good question. I don't know, actually. I have, like, a 1 of 1,000 Luna Vachon that they did for one of those retro lines. I think Cello Toys put it out. But, like, it's fine. Is it... Okay, I wish Jax could somehow get back in the wrestling game. I would love for them to, like, try doing Impact or something, right? Like, just do a brand that doesn't have a toy line right now. I feel like they could do some really cool stuff. Totally. What is the most special figure I have? It's my Soundwave. It's still my Soundwave. My favorite wrestler of all time and favorite figure you have. My favorite wrestler of all time is Bret Hart, and my favorite figure will always be this Soundwave. It just is. It's always going to be my favorite. It's always going to be the figure that's going to be here on my desk. If I had to get rid of everything tomorrow, this is the one figure where I absolutely just cannot get rid of it. Let's get back to opening stuff. Here. I think next we're going to open up Spider-Woman. Once again, all these characters kind of suffer from just being made with concept art and not necessarily the final movie. This doesn't necessarily look like Spider-Woman from the movie. The hair is a bit too big, and also the colors are a bit off. But it still looks like a decent enough figure, so hey. Have you ever broken a figure that you loved? Oh, have I ever broken a figure that I loved? Yeah. Literally just today I broke my Figma Tracer. And then just tossed it because I don't love Overwatch, but I always liked that figure because it was a Figma, and Figma puts out really good stuff. But yeah. Are you into Star Wars figure, or do you feel it's so commercial and overrated? I'm still into Star Wars figures, and I'm always going to love Star Wars, but I'm also at a point where it's like I'm not actively collecting it anymore. I did like a whole video on this when I was doing my Ayla Secura review, where basically it's not that I think it's too much, I think it's just I absorb too much. It's a big reason as to why for so many years I was like, I hate Spider-Man, because there was a movie every year, there were games constantly, there were toys all the time, but now that I'm like engaging with Spider-Man, it's like, oh wow, this shit is amazing. I think it's the opposite with Star Wars, where I engage too much, and now I need to step back. Now, what about your favorite wrestling figure? My favorite wrestling figure is that Bret Hart behind me on the top shelf, the one in the black costume. That's my 1997 Bret. That's my absolute favorite one. True Phantasm. Hey, man, how's it going? Now, Across the Spider-Verse, what a film. Dude, I adored it. It was so good. How many figures do I have in the background? So, all my wrestling figures together, I'm around 500. But I think just the ones that you see on camera, that's at least up probably like 100 if you count like all 5 of those shelves for each bookcase, so 10 shelves that you see. Do I have Kane with the mask on figure? I need to get it. That looks like such a cool 2-pack. But here's the thing, right? I got rid of all my Marvel stuff last year. And I literally just like in these past 2 weeks have been buying Spider-Man figures. Just because like that movie was so great and it's like reignited my interest in Spider-Man as a character. What was the best year that you collect figures? Ooh, I'll be honest, I feel like my collection just exploded during the quarantine because I had so much money from my job. Like, I didn't have any COVID relief, but like, just from my job, I was drowning money and I couldn't go anywhere, so like, I was saving a lot of it. But it was also like, because there was nothing to do, I was also just taking in all these toy reviews and stuff, and that's also when I started doing reviews. So I feel like my collection exploded probably like in 2020. I mean Kane the wrestler. Oh, I love Kane. He's like one of the best. What's my biggest scale? I have a few like 12-inch figures. I'm not big on it though. A user's asking, what's my job? So my job is I am an RB2. And essentially what that is I work with children who are nonverbal, and I aid them in learning how to communicate. And that might be by working with them so that they communicate verbally, or that could be teaching sign language, that could be learning to communicate through tablet, but that's my job. I've been training to do it for these past month, so I'm still very new to it, but it's a really cool job. True Fantastic says, dealing with some family stuff, if I'm honest, so seeing you on is a definite mood booster. Dude, I'm sorry about that, but it's great to see you here, man. Yeah, it's rough. I just had a bit of a spat with my sister here recently, so I can understand. But hey, that's why that's when online is cool. It's like that's now an escape. You should have a normal person figure. I just actually bought a normal person figure. I bought a Gwen Stacy. That's not Spider-Gwen, it's just Gwen Stacy. I don't have them in this room with me. They're in the living room. So, but yeah, so they need to do more civilian figures, because I think they did a Peter Parker. Oh, hey, Mike, cool, what's up? Do you know Grim Toy Show from GTS as YouTuber or on TikTok? I loved Grimm's Toy Show as a kid, and then I haven't watched it in a very long time. I don't even know if they still do their stuff, but I loved it as a kid. What toys we got today? I am doing all Spider-Man figures. I have so many Spider-Man figures. So the ones we've already opened are Cyborg Spider-Woman, which this figure is amazing. Holy. Opened up 2099 next. This figure is cool, but I think this one has some problems. Like, not even like design problems. I think it has QC problems. And now I'm just messing with this Spider-Woman, and she's fine, but the articulation's really weird just because, like, here's the thing, right? The character is pregnant, so they've kind of worked around the fact that this figure now has, like, a very strange center of balance. And it's like, I think this figure is still cool, but I think the design has, like, impacted the ability to, like, implement articulation. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a knee grow? Well, when you're young, did you go to Toys R Us? Yeah, a lot. Only got 2 Spider-Man figures, and they are both of the 78 Toei Spider-Man. That's a really cool figure, the one that Hasbro put out. That might be my favorite Spider-Man, to be honest. It's so cool. It has such great articulation. It's cool. I don't know. Yeah, so we just blocked the Lorax. I feel like I don't have to explain why we did that, but we've done it. And now we can move on. Also, it is very hard to stand Spider-Woman. I just noticed that the toy is not named Spider-Woman. It's named Jessica Drew. Which I know that's her name in the movie, but like, yeah. Would you rather choose Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield? I like the Tobey Maguire movies more, but honestly, I think Andrew Garfield is the better Spider-Man. I don't think he's as good a Peter Parker, maybe, but he is a terrific Spider-Man. And I think, like, had he been given a better script, I think he could have blown Tobey out of the water. As much as I love the Tobey movies. So I'm going to say both in terms of the figure and in terms of the performance, I would probably go with Garfield, even though I still think Tobey is amazing, right? It's kind of like how I would take Keaton over, say, I don't know. Christian Bale, right? I would take Keaton over Christian Bale, but I still think Christian Bale is like a good Batman. Do you have any Star Wars figures? A handful, but I'm really downsizing that part of my collection, to be honest. And most of it's going into storage. Do I have Goldberg? I do. He's somewhere in that mess. And I'm going to be honest, right now, I'm not going to be doing like a lot of showing the room just because I got people moving into my apartment with me. And I'm reorganizing, so a lot of things are going into storage, so the room does not look great right now. So Crypto Horizon says, oh, well, by the way, welcome back, Crypto Horizon. I remember seeing you a couple weeks ago when we last did this. So I'll be honest, when you went to Walmart, you probably did see someone who looks just like me because I'm a very generic-looking dude. It's not hard to find a fat white dude with a chin beard. I'm kind of a standard, I'm a default appearance, right? Have I seen the new Flash trailer? No, and I've not seen the movie, and I don't really care to. Do I have Bray Wyatt? I have a couple, yeah. My favorite one is probably like the first one they did, the one that came with the cloth shirt. I just did a review on that one, actually. I love that one. True Phantasm says Christian Bale is a good Bruce Wayne. His Batman isn't the best. I totally agree with you, actually. I think he's a terrific Bruce Wayne. I'm trying to think, because, like, there's a few Batman who I really enjoy, but it's like they're all animated. Like, I love Kevin Conroy Batman. I loved The Batman. Like, I love the movie The Batman, but I'm also, like, I love the cartoon The Batman. Real talk. Okay, who is the best Joker? Ooh, that's tough. Mark Hamill. Like, I don't know if that's technically cheating, but, like, Mark Hamill, I think, is the fair one. But, yeah. Like, I think there's been a lot of great Jokers. Favorite is the one who died. I take it you mean Heath Ledger. AWS Stop Motion says I am. And then MWS Wrestling says, see, I think it's the other way around. I think he's a terrific Batman, but Keaton... I take it you're going to say Keaton is the best Batman, which I could also see that, because he plays a very good aloof Bruce Wayne. Crypto says, I got some Godzilla figures like Shin and Ultima. They're my favorite. Those are cool. And True Phantasm agrees with me that Mark Hamill is the best Joker. Lauren says, what up, bro? Hey, how's it going? AWS Stop Motion. Okay, so I am Nikola Jokic. I don't get that one. Noir says, hey, do you remember what the Transformer dog... Oh, that's Ravage. The Revenge of the Fallen dog Transformer, that's Ravage. At least I assume we're talking about the same one. The one that was, like, actually dog-sized and had, like, the cyborg eye. Rubberman says, watch the FNAF trailer. I've seen it because my friend is a huge FNAF fan and has sent it to me like 15 times. I think it looks really cool. I like how you see Springtrap in it. It's cool. AWS says Nikola Jokic is the best Joker. I actually don't know which Joker that one is. I'm bad with voice actor names. I hate that the Lego Batman actor is playing as the Batman in The Flash. Is that a thing? I freaking love Mark Hamill. True Phantasm talking about, or responding to NWS Wrestling about Keaton being a great Batman and Bale being, Keaton being the best Bruce Wayne and Bale being the best Batman. Fair, agree to disagree, but personally, Bale sounds like he has throat cancer. Yeah, I'm not big on the gravel either. Crypto Horizon says, I also started a YouTube channel with the same name as my TikTok. That's awesome. So hey, everyone go give Crypto Horizon 70 a look on YouTube. Catching up some more comments. Good job for Jokic, but I still hate him. He's a joker, though. Yeah. Noir says, I've been trying to remember, thank you so much. They're talking about Ravage. Yeah, absolutely. Jokic is the basketball player. I don't understand what's going on here anymore. Crypto Horizon says, I started a YouTube channel about fighting games and the Kaiju universe on Roblox. Oh, that's cool. And NWS Wrestling agrees that, okay, the voice for Bell Batman is the best. And Crypto Horizon says, oop, my bad, I said the same thing. No, you're good. Any R. Kelly? No, I don't have any R. Kelly figures, amazingly. Who would want to fight between 100 Barricades or Grimlock? If this is a movie Barricade, I feel like it's still Grimlock, because hear me out, right? Assuming this is like G1 Marvel Grimlock, they survived nukes. Whereas, like, in the Michael Bay movies, you could kill a Transformer with just, like, a gun. So, like, I feel like Grimlock could win against 100 Barricades. Ultimate Warrior. I do have a few Ultimate Warriors, and in fact, if you look over my head there's one looking at us now, right next to Rick Rude. Bronson Reed. That's apparently who I look like. Bronson Reed and Meat Canyon are the two dudes I look just like. Have you seen The Flash? No. And, I don't think I want to either. The deep fakes really kind of pulled me out of it, and also Ezra Miller seems like a bit of a tool. Crypto Horizon, I'm thinking about making unboxing videos for Godzilla statues and figures. That'd be cool. Yeah, I enjoy doing unboxing live streams, so I bet a video would be fun. Seen Rise of the Beast, I haven't. Literally, the only movie I've gone to see recently is Across the Spider-Verse. I need to go see Rise of the Beast. And Nedro says, "Yo, I see him. That's so cool. Awesome." MWS says, okay, I've not seen a single Transformers movie. How do you kill metal with a gun? To be fair, I think they say like it's a salvo unit or something. It's like an incendiary round. But like, yeah, that's still a thing they do. Caddick says, do you think Godzilla is actually better than King Kong? Because I do. I actually prefer King Kong over Godzilla. But that might just be because one of my favorite movies ever is the original King Kong. And I'm not going to watch Money in the Bank. I want to. I'll see if I can. In all honesty, it's kind of hard to do that between work and hanging out with friends, stuff like that. But I would love to see Money in the Bank, because I think it's going to be cool this year. Apparently, like, there's a rumor that Logan Paul is going to win, which, I mean, I'm not against it, because Logan Paul, like, is a surprisingly decent wrestler. But, like, yeah. Can I see AJ Styles? He's right above my shoulder. There, actually, the one in the white pants. Do you have Eddie Guerrero? I do. He's right there, next to Goldust. Also, what do you want... Oop. Let's see here. Also, what do you want the light goal to be? I don't really come into this with a light goal. I kind of just do it just to hang out. And Michael says, Ray, are you going to go see the new Indiana Jones? Probably not, but it's not because I think the movie looks bad. It's just I don't really care about Indiana Jones. True Phantasm says, no spoilers for me, but I enjoyed Rise. It's as good as Bumblebee. People tell me, like, it's been solid, so, like, I want to go check it out. Hormone Man says, yes, Team Kong. MWS says, question, do you like Peter Pan? Yeah, I like the Disney movie. Captain Hook is, like, easily one of my favorite, like, Disney villains ever. Michael keeps just saying Ray. Cack says, who do you think will win, George from Rampage or King Kong? Ooh, I feel like George, but just because he has humans helping him, whereas King Kong is going at this solo. Have you seen the size of King Kong compared to Rampage? Well, here's the thing, right? Are we talking about original King Kong or new King Kong? Because new King Kong is way bigger, but original King Kong is, like, immensely smaller. So, which one are we talking? Rise of the Beast, the best Transformer, in my opinion, aside from Bumblebee. And MWS says, oops, I did not mean to request, but I am recreating all of Neverland in Lego. Oh, that's awesome! That's really cool. Dude, it amazes me what people are able to do with, like, stop motion in Lego. Chocolate Bar says, it's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. Hormone Man, or this True Phantasm, speaking of Hormone Man, Rise of the Beast is the best live-action Transformers film. Cool. Do I have any Lego Batman? I don't have any Lego stuff, I'm afraid. Who owns Deadpool or Deathstroke? I have a Deathstroke, and that's it. I don't have any Deadpool, and I don't have any other Deathstrokes. A couple more things to unbox. Next, we're going to go to Spider-Gwen. Okay, I do crazy stuff for stop motion, so that's hilarious. You just said that. So, like, the actual main character of the second movie, Spider-Gwen. What about just normal Batman? I have a few Batman, but, like, here, do I have any that are just, like, around me? I don't think I do. Again, that's the thing where it's, like, a lot of my collection is going into storage, and I just don't want to show the room right now. I'm sorry. It looks really bad. Like, that's the thing, is, like, normally on these streams, like, we would go around the room and check everything out. It's just, I don't want to do it while I have a lot of stuff, like, kind of thrown all over the place, because I'm trying to figure out what do I want to keep on display and what do I want to move into a storage unit. Who wins the Deadpool or Deathstroke? I think Deathstroke is an infinitely better fighter, and is much smarter, and has better equipment. But at the end of the day, he has nothing that counters Deadpool's healing factor, and even though Deathstroke has a healing factor, it's nowhere near as strong. So I feel like Deadpool wins. Just a guy, what's my name? My name is Ron Bond John. That's my father's name too, I'm actually a junior. Have you seen the new SH Figure Arts Spider-Man they are releasing? It looks so good. It's a costume that we don't ever actually see on screen, and yet I'm like, I want to spend $150 on that. That looks great. It does. It looks really good. I love the shiny blue. Wolverine or Deadpool? In all honesty, Wolverine. Like, I like Deadpool a lot. Deadpool would be, like, in my top 20 Marvel characters, but Wolverine might be, like, my third or fourth favorite character. I like Wolverine a lot. Alright. Okay. So getting Gwen out, right? Messing with all the joints. She's a lot thinner than everyone else, but in all honesty, the figure feels better than anyone else. Like, whereas everyone else had at least some awkward feeling joints, this Gwen actually feels really good. And I like the head sculpt a lot. I like the pink hair. I don't know. I like the idea of Gwen with pink hair. That said, I like this head sculpt a lot more. I like how it's a little bit angrier looking. And I love that they actually got the web pattern in the hood. Okay. I want to ask you guys something. Is Spider-Gwen the best new costume design of, like, the past 20 years? Because I think it is. I can't think of a single superhero's costume that's come out, like, in, like, the actual last few decades that I think looks as good as Spider-Gwen. And it helps that, like, I like Spider-Gwen as a character a lot. Like, I loved her initial run. But I also just think that she's a really, really good costume. Let's see here. What's the best arcade wrestling game of all time? WrestleFest or WrestleMania, the arcade game? I actually think I'd go WrestleFest, but I think they're both really good. My favorite wrestler is Bret Hart, but my favorite one who's actually still wrestling is Cody Rhodes. What do I collect? A little bit of everything. Used to, but now I'm very specific. It's mostly DC, Marvel, wrestling, Pokemon, handful of other things like Transformers and Star Wars sometimes. But my big four right now are wrestling, Pokemon, DC, Marvel. Do I have Spider-Punk? Okay, so I bought him on the Big Bad Toy Store. I haven't shipped him yet, so it's weird. I own one, but it's not actually at my house. Hey, can I see your Ultra Magnus? You know what? Okay, I know I keep telling people we're not going to go look around the room. The Transformer section actually looks decent, so we'll go look at Ultra Magnus. No, who would win, Wolverine or Deadpool? I'm sorry. Oh, God. I actually think Deadpool would win because he has a better healing factor. And, like, Wolverine has canonically died in the comics a few times. So, I'm actually going to go Deadpool. Crypto Horizon says, best flying Godzilla character is Megurus. He's super fast. I don't know who that is, but that sounds cool. Am I into Gundam at all? I'm not. Do I have a Vileplume? I actually do have a Vileplume. Hi, please give me the stink eye. I really need it. I think I'm good. Thickest action figure in your collection? No idea. Tips on getting a goth girl? Why are you asking a gay man how to get a goth girl? Do I have any DC figures? I have a lot, actually. Thoughts on Roman beating Cody at 39? Wrong choice. Here's my favorite Ultra Magnus, though. That's the Combiner Wars Magnus. He's on my Lost Light shelf. That's my favorite one. He's big, he's bulky, he looks great. And then as for Vileplume, let's see here. Oh, it's kind of hidden back here, but there's my Vileplume finger puppet. Yeah, my finger puppets are like my main Pokemon collection. Let's see here. I'm sorry if you don't know a lot of Godzilla characters. I'm a Godzilla nerd. No, I love people talking about it. It's just, I honestly don't know much about Godzilla. Wish they would make a Spider-Man 1609. Dude, I would love so many Marvel 1609 figures. I'd love the cap, because I love the cap from that line. Those Skeletors are so cool. I have some decent, like, He-Man stuff, and honestly, that's another thing that's probably going to go into the storage locker. Favorite figure I own. So I've been showing that Soundwave a lot. I'm actually going to show this Bret Hart up close. I adore that Bret Hart. That's my favorite one. Oop. Who wins, Comic Deadpool or Thanos comic? Comic Deadpool, because Death prefers him. Have you played the new Pokemon game? Oop. So, Drin Havali keeps trying to invite, and no offense, I'm not gonna be on here for much longer. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk. Thank you for wanting to join. But yeah. Have I played the new Pokemon game? I have. I thought it was very good. Cody Rhodes has been my favorite. He's risen and fallen several times. It's true. What's my most prized figure? Ooh. I don't know, actually. I'd have to think about that. Who do you think will win, Insomniac Spider-Man or Arkham Batman? Insomniac Spider-Man. Here's the thing, right? In a lot of ways, I prefer Batman as a character. Thing is, right? There's not a world out there where Batman beats Spider-Man, unless Batman got prep time. But then if we're going to do that, we should say Spider-Man also gets prep time, in which case Spider-Man always wins. Because he's probably smarter than Batman. He's easily stronger. He has more stamina. He's quicker. He has a spider sense. I think Thanos because he destroyed plants in the comic, but Deadpool only killed the Marvel twice. Yeah, you got a point. I don't know. I guess it depends on like what Deadpool and what Thanos. How long have you been collecting? About 13 years. Casey says, read my comment. I must have missed it, man. Could you repost it? Maybe, I'm sorry. You know, those WWE He-Man figures make those but bigger. I'm surprised they didn't. That would be cool, like for the Masterverse line. I wonder if that's ever a thing they even thought about. Batman is smarter, but I think Spidey wins everywhere else. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, I feel like they're smarter in different areas. I think Batman would be a better engineer, but I think Spider-Man knows more about biology. So, like, I think they're both brilliant, but maybe they're just brilliant in different directions. Batman does have shark repellent, but he doesn't have spider repellent. All Spider-Man has to do is fill someone's lungs up with wet fluid. Dude, True Phantasm mentions that. If you guys want to see something that, like, will make you convinced that Sandman is the single most terrifying character ever, look up Marvel Zombies 2, Sandman, and see how he kills Spider-Man. Like, what he does is he literally just turns to sand and goes through Spider-Man's mouth, inflates him, and then rips himself out of Spider-Man's stomach. It is the single grossest thing I've ever seen in a comic. It was messed up. What's the most nostalgic show for you? In all honesty, me and my sister the other day were watching Goosebumps, and it's like, that shit does not hold up, but it was so much fun just to see Goosebumps again. What happened to the NECA DC figures? I think, so NECA was doing that because they had the contract to do 7-inch DC figures. When Multiverse started, McFarlane bought the license. They took the 7-inch license for themselves, and they haven't given the 6-inch license to anyone. The reason the NECA figures were able to exist before is because Mattel only did 6-inch figures, and thus there could be an opening for a 7-inch license. Who wins between Boba Fett and more Mandalorian? Ooh. I feel like Mando. And I feel like it's not even because he's a better fighter. I think it's just because his armor is tougher. Were you a John Cena fan? When he arrived, I fell off WWE. I am. That's because I was born in 99, and thus, like, I grew up in, like, the prime John Cena years. But have you seen Spider-Man Noir Uncle Ben Death? That one's rough, too. Yeah. I still think the Sandman one seems worse to me, but, like, Uncle Ben's death in Noir is really bad. But Bubba has far more experience. He does, but Bubba is also a lot older. And, like, I don't know. I guess it also, like, do we say just Boba Fett, like, from the Disney canon, or do we say Boba Fett from, like, all walks of Star Wars? Because, like, those are two very different characters. So Casey says he gets eaten by the vulture, right? Yeah, kind of, but it's also, like, it's a lot more graphic than just that. Is that 1602? No, I don't think they ever said what happened to Uncle Ben in 1602. Maybe they did, I just don't remember. Bubba Fett says I actually like John Cena as an actor, though. He's a great actor. Mando still wipes Boba. I agree. Oh, hey, eyes half shut. I remember you. Nothing much, just hanging out. Savage, yes, right in front of him. Talking about Vulture eating Uncle Ben. What you got that's new in the collection? We're just opening a lot of Spider-Man stuff. So the things that we still have to open is I have Future Foundation Spider-Man, and then I have a big Symbiote 3-pack. So those are what we have left to get into. A lot of new comments. Doop. What's that behind you? Bunch of wrestling stuff. True Phantom says, you were born in 99. Damn, you act my age. You must be rather mature for your age. No, I'm just depressed. I'm joking. Sickest figure collection ever. Thanks, dude. What's your favorite manga/anime? Ooh, I don't. There's an anime. It's not Princess Mononoke. It's an anime called Mononoke that follows a character named the Medicine Man. It is fucking trippy, but it's really cool. I like that one a lot. Hormo Man, would you rather be Batman or Spider-Man? Batman, because money. But the whole Marvel Ruins universe is all messed up. Yeah, Ruins is cool, but Ruins is also like, I have an issue with stories where it's like it just feels like the writer wants to complain, or it's like, oh, look how messed up this could be, isn't this so weird? It's like Ruins is cool because I feel like it's the most tasteful version of that. But here's the thing: like, have you ever seen the comic of The Boys? Like the show is great, but the comic of The Boys it's so bad because it's really just the writer talking about like superheroes are dumb and here's why. And the whole time, there's like this sense of like superhero fans are idiots because they never thought of this. It's like, no, we've thought of it, but the fact of the matter is, like, great, you've commented that this makes no sense, and you've replaced it with a story that's awful and still doesn't make any sense. So good on you, I guess. I don't know. I don't like stories where it's like, oh, isn't this so dumb? Exlania says hi. Do you think if Boba Fett had the same armor, had the same age as Mando? If Boba had everything Mando had, I think Boba would win. The thing is, though, he just doesn't have everything that Mando has. Boba Fett says, oh, how much was the symbiote 5-pack, or 3-pack rather? I got it for $50 off Amazon. How do you feel about Stone Cold? I adore Stone Cold. And I didn't as a kid. Just as I've gotten older, I've got to like it more and more. Casey says Uncle Ben is still alive in Spider-Rex's universe, I believe. I think so, but that's because in that universe, the way Spider-Man got great responsibility is because he accidentally killed a lot of small dinosaurs by falling on them. Are you cosplaying as Lil Nas X or something? No, I'm just wearing a purple shirt. Dutch has a plan, says, do you have any recommendations for Spider-Man action figures? In all honesty, just messing with them, the Spider-Verse figures are really good. Also, on Hasbro Pulse right now, they're doing versions of the 90s animated line. They've already released a Doc Ock and Aunt May 2-pack, as well as a Carnage and Symbiote Spider-Man 2-pack. I ordered both those. They look amazing. Cannot wait for them. They're also doing in August Green Goblin and Mary Jane. So I'm really excited. All three of them look really good. So that's where I would say like those are good, affordable options. If you like the movies, get the No Way Home 3-pack. You're not going to get, unmasked heads, but like the figures are still really good. And if you like the 90s Spider-Man, go on Walmart.com right now because they have the 90s Spider-Man back in stock. That thing was going for like $150, but now it's at $20 again. So, those are my recommendations. Hormone Man, agreeing with me, says Ruins is so edgy to the point that it's just corny. And I totally agree. Can I see your Pokemon figure collection? Sure, let's get the Spider-Man out of the box, and then we'll do that. Dutch has a plan, Amazing Fantasy figure. That one is really good. Well, I hear it's really good. I don't have it, but I'd love to get it. True Phantasm says, if you ever get a chance, check out my favorite Spider-Man, the Japanese Toei Spider-Man. That is an amazing figure, too. Trying to get all these comments. Boba Fett says, the boy show has more nuance. Totally agree. Do you prefer the George Lucas-led Star Wars or the Disney version? I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings about both. Because I'll be honest with you, under George Lucas, there was like 2 good movies and 2 amazing cartoon shows. I loved Clone Wars with Tartakovsky, and I loved CG Clone Wars. To the point where when I think what is Star Wars, I think of the Clone Wars cartoons, and I don't watch the movies. Disney's made stuff I liked, and Disney's also made stuff I didn't like. I think comics are way better under Disney. I feel like the Marvel Star Wars stuff has actually just been like amazing, whereas the Dark Horse stuff is kind of hit or miss. Video games are worse now, even though there's some great ones like those Jedi Fallen Order games. Toys are, it depends on what your preferred scale is. If you like 6-inch figures, toys are the best they've ever been in Star Wars. If you prefer the 3 3/4 inch, it's probably fine, but not what it was. Movies, I mean, it's not like the Lucas movies were like always home runs. I don't know. I'm like you. I have mixed feelings. I don't know which one it was better under. I guess it just kind of depends on like what is your Star Wars. Crypto says, "Let's go." I just pulled Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's awesome. McFarlane DC figures are on a huge sale right now on Amazon. I saw that. The only thing is I own most of the figures that are on sale. Why have Marvel been giving us Marvel Zombie Spider-Man stuff? So, Foxy Hatter, the reason is according to the Spider-Verse creators, Zombie Spider-Man was one of like 5 Spider-Men that they were forbidden to use. Like or like Spider-Man Sony literally said, you cannot use this character, you cannot reference this character. So I feel like Marvel doesn't like reminding people that there was a time where Spider-Man, their poster boy, was evil. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Evan says Symbiote 3-pack for 50, mine was 100. Sometimes you luck out like that, and sometimes, you don't. And, it's kind of like what I just said. If I had waited, I could have had a huge sell on a lot of figures I just bought like 2 weeks ago. And, well, time's passed. Honestly, I would say the Mandalorian wins, even though if Boba Fett had his armor and his age. I get that too, because I feel like the Mando actually is a better fighter. I think Boba Fett just has a better arsenal. Oh, hey, Frost, what's up? Kak says Mando still has the Darksaber. That is a good point. Did not consider that. I ordered the Spot Marvel Legends. It's come the 4th of July. That's amazing. Boba Fett says The Undertaker scared me as a kid. He's my favorite 90s wrestler now. There's so many messages I gotta catch up with. Do you think Uncle Ben is still alive in the Spider-Pig universe? I don't feel like they could be. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Wouldn't that disrupt the canon, I guess? Happy birthday, Grimace. Happy birthday, Grimace. Grimace. Do I have a Sting action figure? I don't, unfortunately. I want to have a 2002 Green Goblin, not No Way figure. Oh, dude. I hope they do, like, an updated Goblin. That'd be great. And I also want a Alfred Molina Doc Ock. Have I looked into 3D printers? Yeah, but if you live in an apartment, that's just not an option. Like, that's actually just not an option. You will kill yourself. Because the heat will be awful. I recently got a Batman Rebirth McFarlane figure. That's awesome. I don't speak German. I don't read German. And thus, no offense, I'm not reading that because I don't know what I'm saying. Bro, Zombie Spider-Man is so weird. The fact that he swings around using his veins instead of webs. Yeah, that is super weird. I also like the fact that he rips his skin off and throws it into a trash can. What's the best Godzilla era, Showa era, Heisei era, or Monsterverse era? I like the Showa era just because I feel like that's where all the weird stuff is, and I like the old weird stuff. Old Man Logan Red Skull Kill was so... That was cool. I did like the Old Man Logan comic a lot. Frost says, I've started writing the new story, and I finally titled it. I call it The Everlasting Sword. Huh, that's cool. You should get TikTok, dude. W Collection, though. Thank you so much. Hormone Man says, Spider Ham's Uncle Ben was cooked to death. Jesus Christ. That's right, they did do a weird line. That Spider Ham apparently ate his Uncle Ben. Jesus, I forgot about that. Oh, hey, SWF fandom, what's up? And someone says cheese. Okay, we've opened Future Foundation Spider-Man. Let's get to this. So here's the thing, right? I love how they've literally just started, like, that looks like a torture device. That looks awful what they're doing. I get why they do it, and it's like, good on them for not just, like, having them be loose in the cardboard boxes, but, like, that is so weird to look at when you open. Do I have a Super Ballandroid account figure? Action figure. I actually don't. I don't do 3 3/4 inch. I would love a 6-inch version, but I don't know if anyone's made that yet. Spider-Man doesn't mind eating pork. He was a spider, so he doesn't care. Fair enough. What's up? What's up? Hey, Christopher Lamax. What's up? Spider-Man. Yeah, I just opened up the Future Foundation one, which I love how this suit looks so much. It's also called the Stealth Suit now, I think because of the PS4 game. But it's the Future Foundation. I know that they don't like reminding us that Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four used to hang out and everyone loved that, but like this is the Future Foundation suit. Unfortunately, coming out of the box, it has some warped legs. Not too bad, but like it is there. That's not too great. So Frost says that they just sent me everything about Chapter 1 so far. Okay, I'll read that when I get a chance. I might be able to this weekend, but if I don't, I'll get to it. So, 3 3/4 inch figures are so hard to display in my opinion. They are, and I love it just because they're really hard to balance, at least for me. I have a Wat Tambor figure for my Separatist collection. That's cool. I always liked Wat Tambor. He's great in the Clone Wars cartoon from the Ryloth arc. In all honesty, a figure I always wanted for the Separatists was from the Clone Wars movie, General Worm Loathsome. I would love a 6-inch figure of him. Wat Tambor is me. Bro, Deadpool definitely gonna mention a box office joke with DC. That'd be cool. Bro, you invited the camera Kama Asada? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, I don't. I have a furry Springtrap Funko. That's cool. I have a friend who's super into Springtrap and William Afton. They'd probably get a kick out of that. Do I have any Mezco's opinion on them? I don't have any, but it's not because I don't think they're cool. I think they're amazing. It's just like, it's a thing where it's like, I don't think they would look great with the rest of my collection. And if I was going to start a collection of imports, I'd rather get Mafex than Mezco. But I still think that they look amazing. Frost says, what do you think of the fancy races I've created for Everlasting Sword? So the ones that you've shown me before, I think all look really cool. I really liked, I forget their names, but I really liked specifically the ones that had like the knife teeth, like the super sharp teeth. And I liked how a handful of them had like different like kind of eye shapes, and some had like facial features that like seemed to be like in places that you would think wouldn't necessarily work in terms of like a humanoid. So like I like how varied they are. Bart Simpson says, I have a Gotenks figure. That's cool. And Black Mesa says, I need a B1 battle droid now. I am building up my army. Dude, army building is great, but it's a process. Remember when Ash from Evil Dead was in the Marvel Zombies? Yeah, that was cool. And he showed up in a werewolf universe. One thing I wish for is to have someone make an action figure of me. It would be interesting to see. If you want, Hasbro does that like selfie series where like you take a selfie and then you get a head sculpt on like a stormtrooper or whatever you want. SWM fandom just brought up the same thing. Your collection is my life goal. Thank you. Not gonna lie, Marvel Zombies with the power cosmic is so scary. Yeah, they literally destroyed the universe. That was messed up. Do you have a Jedi Revan figure? I don't, I'm afraid. Black Mesa, like, keep at it. Like, I always think of, like, Dan Larson and the Boba set and how he has, like, 400 of the vintage Boba Fett figures. If you love something in specific, like, yeah, have a goal like that. Go for it. Okay, Frost says that they have something new for the Veptile races. Wow, that's cool. Oh, wow, a lot of comments all at once. What'd you get today? So right now I'm messing with my Future Foundation Spider-Man. Figure is really cool. It's using the retro Spider-Man body, but unfortunately he came out of the box a bit warped in the limbs. I'm gonna have to fix that. Also, unfortunately, a bit of paint splotch on the leg. Nothing too bad, but enough to be annoying. And also some looseness in the ankles. So overall, not the best Spider-Man I own, but it does look really striking. I like it a lot. Wonder if they'll ever do Star Wars Zombies. They did something like that. There was a novel called Death Troopers that I actually really liked when I was a teenager. Check it out. Like, it's actually, like, pretty solid from what I remember. Do I have any Separatist figures? All I have left are the Black Series Dooku, Grievous, and Ventress, and they just hang out on my Star Wars shelf. The Ultimate Comics was a very weird time for Marvel. It was, and I actually don't know how I feel about the fact that they're bringing it back, because I wasn't too sad to see it go. Ghost Rider vs. Kratos, and they also, this is SWM fandom saying that they also have a Jedi Raven figure. That's awesome. I think Ghost Rider wins just because of the penance stare, and Kratos definitely feels guilt over what he did. Do I have any CM Punk figures? I don't, I'm afraid. Whose story do you like more, Revan or Anakin? My favorite piece of Star Wars media ever is the Clone Wars cartoon, so I'm going to say Anakin, but I think Revan's probably a better written story. Frost talking about the Veptiles. They have those large horns on the right side of their face as a lightning rod to absorb power. Huh, that's cool. Milk Wonder says hi. Hey. And then someone says, We need more PS4 Spider-Man figures. We totally do, because I think right now all we have is Peter, Miles, a second Peter, a second Miles, and then Mr. Negative and Inner Demon. I'd like the rest of the Sinister Six, at least. What's the best Godzilla era? Heisei era, Showa era, or Monsterverse era? I'm still going Showa era, because I think that was like the goofiest one. I like that one. The audible version of Death Troopers is creepy. Oh, I've never heard that one. I bet it would be cool, though. Black Knight says, we need a remake of Wat Tambor and Nuke Gunray figures. I'd like to see that for real. That'd be cool. Like in the vintage collection, maybe? Who do you think's winning? Cad Bane, Boba, Mando, Bosk, or versus the Bat family with no Batman? Oh. I still think the Bat family wins. Because, like, if you had, like, the full Bat family, like Nightwing, Barbara, Cassandra Cain, Stephanie Brown, Jason Todd, Damian. Like, those guys could take... Even though Cad Bane, Boba, Mando, Boss, that's a good team, I feel like Bat Family still wins. It's time for Revan to get a Disney Plus series or even a movie. That'd be cool. Like an Old Republic trilogy. And someone's agreeing with me that the Bat Family doesn't need Batman if they got Grayson. Yeah, totally. And then Frost, yeah, I liked the sword you did for the boiling. So you sent me one for the boiling poles. But then I saw that there was a second map you did on your TikTok that was for Everlasting Sword. I thought it was also really cool. I like how it was a little bit more segmented, and it looked a little bit more like Alien from how our continents are. And someone says, my boy, you need to get more sleep. I'd love to. But yeah. Black Mesa says, I always wonder what if the Separatists won the war. They went into that in a book, so one I would love to if they would do like a what if comic, right? That'd be cool. But according to like the novelization for Revenge of the Sith, it was basically like if the Separatists won, eventually they just turned into an even worse empire, because at least the empire had some leniency against aliens. Dooku wanted to straight up go into genocides against anything that wasn't a human. So, like, as weird as it is, and as racist as the Empire was, as specious, I guess I should say, for how the Empire was against aliens, at least they would show leniency in some way. The Separatists would not have. Red Hood, Grayson, Tim, Barbara versus Boba, Cade, Bane, Jango, Bosk, make it fair. I still think Bat Family wins. Like, with that team, I think it's still the Bat Family. Count Dooku is nefarious. He is. I adore Count Dooku. I love the fact that he seems like he actually might have been the single, like, most reprehensible Sith, and yet he was able to keep it all in check. The Boiling Poles map is the Everlasting Sword map. Oh, my bad. I misunderstood that. I really liked that one, too. My favorite thing about it was just the fact that it was boiling poles, and it's like, that's a cool idea. That North and South would actually be the hottest parts of the planet as opposed to the coldest. Who's my favorite villain? I'll be honest, right now I'm on a Green Goblin kick. I never knew the Green Goblin did so much sick shit, but yeah. Who would win in a 90-minute Iron Man match? Mr. Perfect or Owen Hart? You're putting two of my favorites against each other. I feel like Owen wins. Why did Anakin kill all the kids? I'm so confused. I don't know. That's just how Anakin rolls. What's the worst comic death in Marvel? When you say worst, do you mean the most grisly or the one where it's like, why would you do that? I feel like the most, like, horrible death I can think of in Marvel. I feel like it's a lot of the Marvel zombie stuff. The one that I think of where it's like, why would you do that, though? Like, probably Miss Marvel right now, because we already know she's coming back. Did you see that James Gunn announced the new Supes actor? I did, and it actually looks like a cool actor. I've not seen any of his stuff, but it's like he looks great as Superman. Favorite Build-A-Figure? Probably that old Toy Biz Sentinel. I still think it looks amazing. Wow, how many figures do you have? A few thousand. I think the last I saw was 4,000. Durrier says, taught me, Daddy, to which I respond, I'm a bottom. Bart Simpson says, because he was a genocidal Jedi. Yeah, that's the reason Anakin did that. Taskmaster versus Red Hood. Who winning? No prep. Taskmaster. Because everything Red Hood could do, Taskmaster just repeats. The small island called the Hollow on the map is important, by the way. It's guarded by a large sea serpent. Oh, that's awesome. Personally, I think Taskmaster is way more skilled. Yeah, I think why is Cam is we are on the same page here. Who would win, Wat Tambor or Jabba the Hutt? Jabba because he could crush Wat Tambor's breathing apparatus. Can you get Gojira, which is volcanic version that came out in Godzilla vs. Destroya? I'm not a big Godzilla fan. I don't know if I'd enjoy having a figure like that. Got you a Sami Zayn figure yet? I have a Sami Zayn figure, but it's just a basic. I need to get that Elite that just came out with the big mousetrap. Bro, it's crazy that WandaVision killed all those people in the movie. It was gruesome. Yo, yeah. I love Black Bolt's death. Like, that was so cool. Like, how you saw, like, how, like, obviously, like, it was all within the mess. So it's not like you saw the actual gore, but, like, just the fact that you saw, like, the back of his skull, like, explode out the back of his head. It's like, wow, that's cool. Jason can't handle Grayson, so Def, not Taskmaster. I feel like, okay, hear me out. I don't think Red Hood could do it. I feel like if any Bat family member could take out Taskmaster, it's either Cassandra Cain, because she is one of the best hand-to-hand combatants in the DC universe. I feel like Nightwing could do it too, just because so much of his fighting style is based around improvisation. And Taskmaster's fight with Deadpool proves that he can't do improv well. Austin Theory would beat The Rock because The Rock lost to John Cena. Fair enough. What about Megalon or Monster Zero, aka King Ghidorah in the 1964 version? Like, they're all cool designs. It's just, I don't know if I would collect Godzilla stuff. Which is my favorite army, Republic, Empire, or the CIS? The Republic, because Ahsoka and the Clone Troopers are in the Republic. And, like, if I made a top 10 list of, like, my 10 favorite Star Wars characters, I'm pretty sure 8 of them come from the Republic. Think The Rock will come back eventually. He's eventually going to come back. This is the third time you've been on my FYP. Hey, well, welcome back just for you. Thank you. You think Jango, Boba, and Mando all Prime could beat Dooku? I think that if they were smart in how they planned it, maybe. But I feel like Dooku would probably kill all 3 of them. Because you gotta remember, he's also like one of the single most powerful Jedi/Sith to ever exist. Roman can take down any of the DC, lol. Bro thinks consistency works in the WWE. Dude, here's the thing though, it's all we have. Any DBZ stuff, I don't. Black Mesa says that they're a big Separatist fan. Yeah, well, I mean, you're building like the huge army. Like, at the same time, I love the CIS. There's a lot of cool characters in there. A part of me always wants to say that Cad Bane should count in the CIS because he like worked exclusively with the CIS, but it's like that's not quite how that works. What about Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat? I would love to own a Johnny Cage. I don't have one. But yeah, I love Johnny Cage. The serpent is called Serpenti de Huso, which means bone snake. Oh, that's cool. Someone says Luffy over Deku. I'm going to say sure. That sounds right. Can I get a Ric Flair woo? Okay. Here, I have neighbors, so I'm going to keep it a little bit down. But, woo! Jesus. No. You can get an LA Knight. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Fett, yes. If you think about it, Jango Fett is a Separatist commander since he worked for them a lot. It's true, and also he was killing clones during the arena battle, so, like, yeah. So Atomic could be Goku. Probably. Do you watch Dragon Ball? I actually do watch Dragon Ball, I just don't have any of the toys. Who would win, Rampage or King Kong 2021 version? I think King Kong 2021, because isn't he way bigger than George from Rampage? Alright, let's open the last thing we have of the night, which is my Symbiote 3-pack. And I have been so excited to bust into this, just because I like Venom. I don't necessarily even like Venom as a character, like I do, right? But it's not like I think about how great Venom is, it's just Venom's a cool design, and he tends to get really good toys. The Rey Mysterio vs. LA Knight match was spectacular. It was, and I hope that Vince specifically realizes that LA Knight is like one of the best wrestlers he has right now. I hope Star Wars verse incorporates Raven into the Mandalorian story. That'd be cool. I would love for it to like come out like Revan used the Darksaber or something. Oh hey, Lego Ray Fett Productions. It's been a long time. How's it going? Evan says you're going to be blown away by the riot. Well, let's have a look-see. Here's how it came packed. That looks like I just got lunch. Wow, okay. But the alternate Venom head sculpt is one of the best Marvel Legend heads I've ever seen. Okay, let's have a look-see. Crypto said, have you ever heard of a Spider-Man Venom with Hulk powers? I'm sure it exists out there somewhere. Wait, I know it does, because there's a What If where the symbiote accidentally, like, Peter never gets the symbiote off him, so it accidentally kills him, and then it just starts jumping from person to person. It eventually, in this what if, attaches itself to the Hulk, and then it's killed by Thor. But after it's killed, Bruce Banner's cured of turning into the Hulk because it absorbed all the gamma radiation out of him. So that's the only time I can think of where Venom turns to the Hulk. It's just a random what if comic, and it's either what if Peter Parker never removed the Venom symbiote, or what if the Venom symbiote killed Peter Parker. It's one of those two. But yeah, that's a cool what if. It's good, bro, and yeah, it's been a hot minute. Blackman says, I would have liked to see Django become a Separatist commander. That makes sense. I think it would have been cool. Especially because you gotta think, like, all the clones thought of him as, like, their father, a measuring stick to, like, measure yourself against. It would have been a cool story thing. Lego Rayfez, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you, man? Do you like Dragon Ball GT or DB Super? I like Super, but I've never seen GT. Do I have Trevor Murdoch? I don't. Boba Fett says, I've been trying to find one of those retro-style Venom figures. I would also like to find that retro-style Venom figure. It's like the one retro figure that, like, seemingly just disappeared. We got Soups casted, even though Soups, my favorite character, is more excited to see Booster Gold. I didn't know someone casted Booster Gold. I'm way more interested in that. Who's Booster Gold? Are you ready for Beyond the Spider-Verse? I'm so excited. I hope it's going to be... I'm sure it's going to be good. I can't wait. There's a cool Japanese manga where DC and Marvel meet Yu-Gi-Oh! Huh, that's cool. How many wrestlers do you have? I'm somewhere around 500 right now. Mayfix Venom has a clean retro look. Yeah, but I'll be honest, I like the toothy grin. I like Venom to have his tongue. That's the Venom I grew up with. Opinion on the new FNAF movie trailer. Some parts of it seem weird to me, but overall it seemed like it's going to be a decent movie. And, like, regardless of how I think about it, I'm going to have to go watch it because some of my best friends, like, hyper-fixate over FNAF. But I think it looks like a decent trailer. I'm sure it's going to be a movie. Those Venom figures are going for like $100 on eBay. Jesus. Okay. Let's see. Booster Gold hasn't been cast. I'm just saying it'll be a little... Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I want Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt would be a good Booster Gold. I could see that. Crypto Horizon. Where did you get all those characters? Also the FNAF. Basically, I just buy from the stores. There's a lot of good comic stores here in Savannah, but also just like places like Target, Walmart. Black Mesa says, I am literally William Afton because my name is Will, so that means I am William Afton. Here, what figure did I just pull out? Oh, it's right. What? Riot's missing his back. This figure is so big, they have to bisect him. You think the Marvel movies are about cashed out? Like, apparently Guardians 3 was great. I never saw it. I'd like to go see it. I feel like the MCU has had a lot of, like, unfortunate things happen to it. But, like, who knows? They might, like, find their second win. Seeing Johnson and Peacemaker interact with Chris Pratt Booster Gold would be too hilarious. That would be pretty good. Okay. So, I thought I just got Riot's back. That's, Venom's head? That is cool looking. Is the tongue a wire? The tongue's not a wire, but that's still really cool. I like how it's lashing out like that. What's my favorite Pokemon? It's probably Gliscor. Gliscor's my favorite. I think Markiplier and Corey Kenshin would be in the FNAF movie. Dude, they should be. But to be fair, if you're going to tell me FNAF would be as big as it is without those two, especially Markiplier, like, you're crazy. Like, if you're going to tell me that Scott Cawthon doesn't owe Markiplier, like, some money for how much free publicity he gave that dude, like, come on. Well, who's my favorite clone trooper? Captain Rex. Followed... After Captain Rex, my favorite's probably just collectively Delta Squad. I love Boss, Scorch, Fixer, and Sev. But yeah. Put Matt in the FNAF movie. Dude, I think Matt Pat wants to stay away just because they apparently, like, impregged him in the books. Corey is in the FNAF movie. Oh, that's awesome. What's your favorite WWE action figure? It's the Bret Hart that's on that top shelf just in the corner of the screen there. Dude, I'm messing with this Riot. This is pretty spectacular. The chest feels weirdly light compared to the rest of the figure, but, like, dude, just look at this friggin' unit. So, I've watched, like, a lot of reviews. Keep in mind, I've not been buying Spider-Man figures up until, like, these last 2 weeks. Apparently there was a Build-A-Figure called the Monster Venom just going off what I remember in the video, this looks like it's just like a pretty extensive repaint of that. This is good. I especially love how like there's a little bit of purple throughout. So it's like it's blue, but there's also like hits of red and purple where it kind of looks like he's bleeding. It's good. I like it. What about Eddie VR, the guy who sped run FNAF in 12 hours? I mean, why not? Do you have some old school Ninja Turtles? I'm afraid I don't. They're all in storage right now. I think it was someone else, I don't know. And do I have any DCUC figures? A handful, but most of them are like being moved around the room right now. So it's not really, I don't really have a way I can show them right now. Dude, that riot's good. I like that riot a lot. He is smaller than... No, he's not, actually. I was about to say he's way smaller, but no, they're about the size. Same size. It's just he's a bit wider and shorter. Let's see here. Venom. And then who's my favorite Jedi? Ahsoka. Ahsoka Tano is my favorite. Ric Flair could beat up any Marvel or DC character. I can agree to that. Okay, who am I pulling out now? That is Agony's head. Okay, let's... Are these all... Okay, no, here's a figure. Oh my god. They had to pack Agony without a head. Jesus, okay. Later, you were talking about Spider-Man zombies, but I think it's when they ate Galactus. That's pretty messed up, yeah. I remember that. And, like, Galactus is screaming in pain. Like, you see him. Do you think Darth Vader would be stronger if he didn't get burnt? Easily. Like, because the Force apparently moves through organic material. So when he lost almost all of his flesh, he lost a lot of his connection to the Force. So he would have been way more powerful had he not been put in the suit. Have you read All-Star Superman? Personally, my favorite comic. I have read it. Superman Up in the Sky. So I've read both of those. I love Superman Up in the Sky. It is very, very good. And that's actually a comic I only found out about through TikTok. So that's cool. Isn't my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I'm trying to think, like, what is my favorite Superman comic? In all honesty, like, Superman Smashes the Klan is really good. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's very good. I like All-Star a lot. Crypto is gonna head out. Hey, it's great to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Black Mesa's also heading out. Hey, thank you so much for stopping in. It's really cool to meet you, and hope to see you again. Who's my favorite WWE wrestler? That would definitely be Bret Hart. And then my favorite current wrestler is Cody Rhodes. Also, here's Agony. Agony's not as good. It looks cool, but the figure feels very stiff, and like the colors are a bit much. I don't know, I still like it. I don't like it as much as Riot. Venom or Carnage? Venom. I like Venom as a character more, and I like Venom as a design more. I think Carnage is great, but Venom. Up in the Sky is my favorite just because I believe it symbolizes what he represents the best. Totally. The fact that he was searching for one little girl out in the middle of the universe, it's like, whoever wrote that, they get it. They get what Superman is. Why I look like a My Little Pony. Nice. Cody Rhodes is my favorite too, but Randy Orton is all time. I like Randy Orton a lot. But the thing is, I feel like I take him for Jesus. I take Randy Orton for granted, and also, wow, that's cool. Like, the symbiote coming over Eddie Brock's face. That's awesome. That's really cool. He has butterfly joints and everything? Dude. And this Venom's massive, too. Like, he's not as big as Riot, obviously, but, like, he's about as wide. That's so good. Here's my favorite WWE champion. Bret Hart. Could you beat Brock Lesnar in a fight? No. Is that the American Nightmare in that? Is that the American Nightmare in that Venom? That kind of looks like Cody. Like, I could see that. My favorite superhero is Superman or Nightwing. It kind of depends on the day. Usually Nightwing. I'm going to say Nightwing. I need Dusty Rhodes and that Spot to team up. That would be cool. Hey man, listen, baby. The American Dream Dusty Rose is a super genius, baby. And the polka dot and the spot gonna be working together all night, baby. I love Dusty. Do I have a Cody Rhodes figures? I have a handful. Who do you think is fit to win Money in the Bank? Apparently Logan Paul is gonna win it. I don't know. I'm gonna say Logan Paul, why not? Brock Lesnar is more machine than man now. How many symbiotes are there? Oh god, I talked to my friends about this and I counted them up. I think there's like around I think there's around 20 named ones, but there's literally hundreds. Like, there's been multiple storylines where it's like, oh, there's just symbiotes all over New York now. You have the Earthquake. I do have Earthquake. Where is Earthquake? He's right there, above my head. That guy in all blue. Yo, Grayson Soups are my top 2 favorites too. Ah, hey! Zach says, what if Brock had both hands tied behind him? Could you beat him then? No. No. He would rip my throat out with his teeth. Spot, baby, this is gonna teach you to be a star, baby. A nemesis to the Spider-Man. The American Dream, baby. We're gonna take you under his wing. Jesus Christ. I either have a great Dusty impression or an awful Dusty impression. I will let you guys decide which. Yeah, I'm just messing with this Venom. Here's the thing, right? I don't know who I like more between these two. This guy's great, but this Venom, this is just, like, it's everything I've ever wanted in a Venom figure. He's big, he's bulky, he's very wide. And I love that. I might, because there was a part that's like, oh, well, I'm going to put this on him because of the tongue. That's really cool. Like him transforming. I don't know. So, Wise Cam says, Soups, Grayson, Wally, probably my 3 favorites in DC. Wally is definitely in my top 10. I adore Wally. My 3 favorites are probably Soups, Grayson, and... Who would be 3? In all honesty, it's probably Cassandra Cain. I love Batgirl. So it's probably Soups, Grayson, and Cassandra Cain. That Venom figure is spectacular. Totally agree. It's funny. That's all that counts. That Venom figure reminds me of the Fox Kids show. It might, so I could be so wrong, that might be the body that they use, because I know that there's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive Fox Kids Venom, and the body looks similar to this. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but it looks similar. I'm a fan of Kyle Rayner. Yeah, Kyle Rayner's great. He's probably my second favorite Lantern. I think John Stewart's my favorite, and then Kyle was probably my second. Would you be mad if I knocked them all over? Nah, that shit happens. Nice wrestling figure collection. Thank you so much. Bart Simpson says, I'll be back. I probably won't be here for much longer. Meet you. Yo, nice collection. Thank you. Boba Fett says, I'm going to marry Alexa Bliss. Boy. What is this? Whoa. What is that? That's a giant axe hand. Is that for... Yeah, that's for Riot. Okay. Which hand would that go on? That goes on the left hand, looks like. Okay. Who knows? James Gunn could put Kyle Rayner in the big stream with his Lantern series. That'd be cool. That's the thing I don't get, right? Why haven't they, like... Okay. Is that going to work? It must go on the other hand. Who's your favorite wrestler? Mine is Daniel Bryan. My favorite wrestler of all time is Bret Hart, but my favorite wrestler right now is Cody. But Daniel Bryan is amazing. Whoa. Look at that. He just has a big scythe hand. Get him, like, hunched over. Get your hand back in there. Yeah. Look at this dude. He's coming to eat your candy. Look at him. What's my most prized wrestling figure? I have that Ringside Collectibles exclusive NWO Scott Hall. It goes for like $300 now. And also, Scott Hall is like one of my favorite wrestlers ever. Like, he's on my Mount Rushmore. So that one, I think. I like that figure a lot. It's great. It's not the best Razor Ramon or Scott Hall they've ever made, but I think it's the only one where they've ever actually did like his proper like bleeding edge NWO gear. Oh, dude. I'm trying to think, like, what's the best figure I opened tonight? It might be this Riot. It is this Riot, this Venom, or the Spider-Gwen. One of these three is the best one. They were all decent. There wasn't anyone I opened who I thought was bad. The weakest one is probably Spider-Woman, like probably Jessica Drew. But I still think this is a good figure. It's just not my favorite. Looney says, nice, I have some ringside exclusives too. That's awesome. And Matthew Salisbury says, Rip Razor Ramon. Yeah. At the same time, I'm happy that before he died, he got to have like a lot of good years where he was clean and like everyone got to remember just how great he was. Do I have any 90s WWF wrestling figures? I do. I have a lot of the Hasbro figures and I have a few bone-crunching actions. Alright. Well, I have unboxed every figure I set out to unbox. We've been on here for a couple hours, had some fun, got to talk to a lot of people. Thank you guys so much for watching the live stream. Please follow. I do this live stream, at least I try to do it at least once a week, usually on Friday. Gonna be busy tomorrow, that's why we did it today. Hey, Luke. Hey, but, I mean, do I have Goku? I don't have any Gokus. But hey, Luke, thank you for even stopping in. But like I was about to say, right? I do this every week. I'm going to do it on Friday. You guys follow me. I'm over on YouTube. Ron Bond John over there too. Thank you guys for just hanging out. And I hope I'll see a lot of you guys later. I'm sorry, man. I just don't do Dragon Ball. And Looney says, I was with Kevin Nash at a meet and greet when Skyhawk passed. Oh, that's sad. That has to suck. Like when you're around people and you just get the news like, oh yeah, your best friend is dead. Alright. Thank you guys so much. But hope you guys have a good night. And we will talk later. Thank you guys so much.